Welcome to my channel, Statistics for Applied Linguistics. I'm Dr. Marnie Menegra, and this video today focuses on the background information, theoretical design, and literature review. So what we're going to look at today is the background information section of a thesis. Now, when we related that to the research cycle, this relates to the observation section of the research cycle. This is where we're going to search for information and write the literature review along with the theoretical review. And so we're going to discuss how to do that today, where to find the information that you need, how to read critically, and also some strategies for writing. So first, where can we search for research articles? There are a few different places that you can start. The first one is the university library. The second, you can search in Google Scholar. The third is ResearchGate or academia.edu or other social networks for researchers. Then we have the Scopus journal rankings, the reference lists in other articles. So when you're reading an article, their references are good resources as well, and the journal website itself. So we're going to look at each of these. If you are a student at URV, the library is called the CRI. And so you can access this from the intranet with your student ID number. So when you log into the university intranet, you'll see up at the top, we have the CRI here, and then the third bullet down will allow you to have access into the CRI. Now, the next thing you would maybe want to do, depending on your background, would be to come up over to this window here and select the language. It can be Catalan, Spanish, or English. And then we have a search engine where you can start looking for articles. So if I typed in the keyword online language learning, it's going to give you the search by keyword. You can also search by the journal, the author, or the title. Another place you can look at for articles is Google Scholar. So Google ranks the articles based on relevance. So they're going to look at the type of journal that the article is published in, the number of citations that it has, the number of views, the same way that PageRank would work in regular Google listings. So you can search by keyword. Again, I typed in online language learning up at the top. But you can also then on the left-hand side here, sort by the date. So you can look at most recent articles or get a date range. And you can also search by author, article name. And if the article is an open access, you might be able to download it from the site. So if you notice just on the right-hand side here, we have some PDFs that are available on ResearchGate. So this one, I know that if I go to ResearchGate or if I click where it says PDF here, it will take me there. So a lot of the articles right in Google Scholar are available for open access. You don't need to go further. If it is not open access, then go and look for this in the CRI. Now, you can also look at ResearchGate and academia.edu. To do this, you would probably want to set up a profile on both of these pages, and then you can start searching for articles if they're not available. So if we look to the right here where it says ResearchGate and it says request full text. So this article is available, but it's not open to everybody. So I can click on request full text. That will send the message to the author, and the author can then send the article to you privately. So you can check through ResearchGate. That's another great way to get the articles. Another way to look for articles is through the Scopus rankings. So when we look at the Scopus ranking, this is going to tell us the highest ranked journals on a topic. And then you can search through these journals for relevant articles. You would want to use high ranked journals when writing your thesis because that tells you that the articles are of good quality. So this is a great place to start to look for high-ranked articles or high-ranked journals. Here on this one, I've got computer-assisted language learning coming up at the top under Scopus. When I typed in language learning, so I know this is a high-ranked journal, I can go right to that journal website and then start searching on that site. So additionally, the reference list from other articles. Now, if an author cites another article, you should cite this author, but also the original author, which means you need to go find that original article. Do not blindly cite somebody who is citing something else. And when I say this, it's because I did look at one of my own citations where someone had cited an article that I had written back in 2007. And when I went and looked at what they assumed we had meant, that's not what we said at all. So you must read the original article to verify that the author has actually said what is claimed to have been said in another article. Okay, so the journal website. So we found computer-assisted language learning in Scopus. So you can find a popular journal from Scopus and then go to their site and browse their articles and abstracts. So you can just click on the different issues here, and it will give you all of the lists of the articles and the abstracts. And then, of course, if you find something where you want to read further, go directly to the CRI and find the article there. So now we're going to look at how to write your background information section. This section needs to be organized. So we can look at doing a basic outline where you're going to have your thesis introduction followed by your theoretical review, your literature review, and then your research questions and hypotheses. In the thesis introduction, this is the general introduction to the thesis that describes what the thesis is about, and it sets the expectations for the reader. So you're going to outline what is going to come. The theoretical review, this is a review of the theory that your hypotheses are based on. And I'll do a subsequent video that will show you different types of theories that you can include. And then we'll look at the literature review. The literature review is a review of the recent literature and other research studies related to your topic. So if we're going to organize, there's a few ways that you can do this. On the last page, I showed 4 basic subheadings for your background information section. So you want to organize your general headings. So if you know in your theoretical review, you're going to cite 2 different theories, then these could be subheadings that you're going to have under the heading of your theoretical review. Now, under each heading and subheading that you have, make a list of questions that you want to find the answers to. So write down those questions. So if I'm going to write about connectivism or collaborative learning, one of the questions might be, what is collaborative learning? When was collaborative learning first discovered? Why is collaborative learning popular? Is collaborative learning effective? So I can put all these questions down and then go and look and find the answers to these questions. Then, of course, erase the questions. And so you're going to then search for articles that have the information that answer the questions, restate the article information, and as I said, delete the questions and connect the paragraphs, or you can turn the question into a subheading. So here's an example of the headings and subheadings in a thesis. Notice that we've got the introduction, background, theoretical background, and then we've got these subheadings under theoretical background. And then it went to research questions and hypotheses. In this particular thesis, the student had merged the literature review with the theoretical background. That can be done, or you can have them entered separately. So some writing tips. First, make sure you quote sources properly. And so a good place to look at how to quote would be through Purdue OWL. Purdue OWL has the information for APA, and also avoid plagiarism. Use effective connectors to link your ideas together. Do not be repetitive, write clearly. Good research has complex ideas, but is easy to read. And make sure your section length and word count is appropriate. Also, read your first draft out loud to a friend or record it and listen back to it. Once you hear it out loud, then you can sit there and think of, does this make sense? Is it logical? Is it easy to follow? But it helps to have that audio version that you can hear. So now let's look at reading research articles. So you've got to go into the library or into Google Scholar. You find these research articles. Well, then what do you do with them? Well, it is important to learn how to read critically. The one thing with research articles is it's very rare that you're going to find a research article that is published, even though it is peer-reviewed, that is free from any sort of flaw. So if you can read critically, you can see exactly where that flaw might be and what they could have done differently. So almost all research articles have limitations. It is your job when you're reading to find where those limitations are. Are there errors in the background information? Did they understand the theory and did they cite people properly? Are the hypotheses based on the background information and are they justified? Did they set up the method properly? Did they choose the right sample? Will the procedure answer the hypotheses? Can it be replicated? Are they using the right tools? A lot of these questions that I have here, as we go through the course, you're going to understand this better, so it will help you to learn how to read these articles. Did they analyze the data properly? Did they use the correct statistical tools? Again, this will come as we go through this course. Did they make any errors calculating? Then in the discussion section, did they interpret the results correctly? Do their findings answer the research questions and hypotheses? Are they making broad generalizations from their findings when they should not do so? Okay, so here are the references for this video. Again, thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.